Good morning to my VIP leaders and actually to anyone else who might be watching this video on the team. I'm going to spend some time talking about appointment setting today. These videos are going to, at least this part of the series is going to take on a theme of productivity. I want to get everyone productive and at least thinking that way and kind of going about their daily activities with a backdrop of production. I'm going to read a little bit or quote a little bit from my book, The ABCs of Prospecting, and then also from Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And I'm going to talk about appointment setting today. Very brief discussion. Each one of these videos is going to remain brief. I'm going to pick a specific topic and I'm going to drill that down and then hopefully move on to the next topic in the next video, but hopefully that each subject that is covered, you will watch the video as you're doing now. You will take notes. You'll put these suggestions and recommendations into practical application, because you can watch all the video training you want. If you don't act on what you hear and what you learn, it's all kind of moot anyway, isn't it? Appointment setting is the key. And it's fitting that I'm starting in the first one of this series, this production series. I'm starting with appointment setting because it is itself the very first part of your economic model. Every business should have an economic model, and it's more than just budgeting, but it's an understanding of how your budget rewards you with results. It's an exercise in how you red light, green light expense items, so that if you're paying for something out of your budget, or you've allocated funds from your budget for a specific activity or marketing release or campaign, and it's not working, it's not returning results, as Gary Keller calls it, red light, green light. So if it's not working, you red light it, you cut that off. If it's green lighting, then you go forward with it and continue to fund that from your budget. But the economic model starts everything. It lays everything out for you. And I focus on these real estate books not because, I'm partial to real estate and mortgage, but because I think these are sales strategies and techniques and tactics that work regardless of what you're selling. And recruiting is a form of selling. Let me say that again. Recruiting and team building is absolutely a form of selling. It's all about delivering a message and expecting a result which is favorable to you. So whether we're talking about real estate agents, loan officers, insurance licensees, or team builders, all of what I'm about to discuss and will continue to discuss is very applicable to you. So please pay attention. Please pay attention. So let's start with appointment setting. So forgive me if I look down, but I'm actually, even my book, I don't have it committed to memory. I think I have more committed to the memory on the Millionaire Real Estate Agent than I do my own book. And it's probably because I've read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent more than my own book. It's just, I just carry it. It's marked up. It's what I refer to very frequently. There's a lot of good information in both books. So forgive me if I look down from time to time, but I want to get it right. It's very important material. So as we discussed, you have an economic model, and maybe I should have started there, but I'm assuming probably that each of you have an idea of the economics of running your own business. So getting beyond that, first phase is setting appointments, understanding that revenue comes from closed business. Well, closed business starts with setting appointments. I sent out an email, I believe, 2 weeks ago, kind of setting a guideline for you to set appointments for the week and to do so each week, and then to follow up and hold yourself accountable. So I want to know, naturally I'm curious on how each of you did in complying with that and setting appointments for that week and then the following week, which was last week. Just to give you a time reference, it is Tuesday morning, the day after Labor Day. So it's a short week, but even in a short week, we should be focused on setting appointments. So when you look at your economic model, you can clearly see that it has a beginning and an end. The end is the net income you will receive. What causes that net income starts with the beginning activity, appointments, as I said. These are appointments to make listing presentations to sellers and buyers. So now that's a real estate reference. So let me paraphrase a bit to say that these are appointments where you're making, not just with buyers and sellers on the real estate end, it could be borrowers, refinance prospects on the mortgage side, could be life policy persons, investment vehicles for financial strategists and so forth. So, and it could be, team building. You could be tapping a team member's SOI to go with them to help them recruit somebody and add somebody to their team, which adds to your team. So again, these references are not strictly for real estate and mortgage. So, I'll throw in a couple of quotes also, just so you have an idea that, there are people that do this every day, and they're having extreme results. Some quotes from agents who are very, very indoctrinated into the millionaire real estate agent formula and the methods written about in the book. Every day I try to work 15 files and have 3 seller listing appointments. That's Mike Mendoza, millionaire real estate agent from Phoenix, Arizona, sales volume $60 million. So I say that to say, look, have a goal for yourself. It doesn't have to be 15. Maybe Mike Mendoza, I'm sure if he's doing 60 million in sales volume, he's probably got a little bit of help. So, maybe it's not 15. Maybe it's 5. Maybe it's 10. You find the number that's comfortable and feasible to you, for you, and then hold yourself accountable to meet that number. So it shouldn't be something that you can easily do. If you're a person that can easily do 1 to 2 appointments a day, then don't make 1 your goal. Make 5 your goal. Set the bar high and then strive to achieve it. So pure and simple, if you don't have appointments, nothing else happens. If you do not have appointments, nothing else happens. And if you're not doing this type of stuff right now, then I don't understand how you would expect a different result. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So it's never too late. So get out there. If you're not doing this stuff, get out there and start doing it. Set the goal for your appointments. Set a weekly goal. If you can't set a daily goal, if you're not comfortable with that, then set a weekly goal and then hold yourself accountable to meet that. So pure and simple, if you don't have the appointments, nothing else happens. Therefore, they become a critical point of focus for your economic model. Appointments drive income. Appointments drive income. So target appointments first. Get as many as you need to meet your economic model and go on from there. I'll clarify that for you. Get as many as you need. What they're referring to is what you've laid out in your economic model. Your economic model isn't, as I said, just about budgeting. It's about forecasting as well. So forecasting to justify the dollars spent, meaning that if this is your budget and it's X amount of dollars, then you need to understand through your economic model that to earn X amount of dollars, you need to close Y amount of transactions. And then to close Y amount of transactions, you need, let's say, M amount of appointments. So it's understanding how many appointments you need to get the closed transactions you need, to get the revenue you need to meet your economic model. So hopefully you can follow that. Focus on conversion rates. And then, like I said, I'm going to keep this brief. So this is my last point, and this ties into appointments naturally because you can set as many appointments as you want. You can actually go and take as many appointments as you want, but you've got to focus on converting. That chain I just described that leads to a closed transaction, which leads to revenue, starting with appointments. But in between there is the conversion. So you've got to take appointments. You've got to convert those people or those appointments to transactions. You've got to close those transactions, which then converts that to revenue. So the bottom line is, you can't just take appointments. You've got to become that expert that I'm always talking about, where I say, be the expert. Be the expert. You've got to know what you're talking about. You've got to know your material, whether you're out talking to someone trying to add a team member, whether you're talking to someone trying to get them to list with you, whether you're talking with someone trying to explain to them the benefits of refining right now or buying right now, see if they can qualify for a loan right now, whether you're explaining to them in a life scenario, life insurance scenario, that they can roll this over, they can earn more money at retirement through our vehicle than they can their 401k or whatever it might be, and they can do so, and it can be tax-free, so they can have more tax-free income at retirement. Whatever the meeting or the appointment is about, whatever your purpose is, understand that you've got to convert that person in that appointment. You've got to become good at converting. The only way you're going to become good at converting is to be the expert on what you're delivering. Make a flawless presentation. So conversion rates are important, because if you don't convert, then you're not earning any money. And the reality is, going back to that economic model, if you're going to refer to your economic model, then it's not only an understanding of how many appointments you need to take to fit and meet your economic model forecast. It's about how many of those appointments you convert. So what is your conversion rate? So if you know that you need, in a month, to meet your economic model, you need 8 converted appointments. 8, just 8. And you know that you have a conversion rate of 80%. Then you know that you need to take at least 10 appointments. I said for the month, let's say for the week. So then you need, to meet your economic model for the week, you know you need to convert 8 appointments based on what you close from those 8, typically, historically. Then you know that if your conversion rate is 80%, then you know then that you need to set 10 appointments for that week. 10 appointments, 8 converted, because 80% is your conversion rate, and it's a conversion rate that you need to meet and match your economic model. So then you can determine by looking at your economic model that you need to set at least 10 appointments for that week, for each week, because you have an 8% expectancy in terms, an 80% expectancy in terms of conversion. So know your conversion rate. I'm not just saying 80% is an arbitrary number. Whatever yours is, know it. If it's low, work to improve it. The way you work to improve your conversion rate is that you become the expert. You give a better presentation. You become better in the living room, better in the kitchen, whatever it might be. You become better at it. You deliver the material in a more comprehensive and understandable way, more fluid, and that way you're going to increase your conversion rate. So I'll read again. Your economic model hammers home that you must focus on getting appointments to have any chance at all of earning income. It also makes clear that how many of these appointments you can convert to seller and buyer listing agreements, or to new business agreements, and then convert to sales and close those transactions will determine just how much income you can actually earn. Given that you must turn appointments into tangible business, you could distill the economic model down to the following statement. Listen, appointments converted to business, converted to sales or closed sales, equals gross income. Let me say that again. Appointments converted to new business, converted to sales or closed transactions, equals gross income. It's really that simple. So understanding to set the bar for your appointment goals, and then do so based on a reference to your economic model, understanding what your conversion rate is and basically what each appointment is potentially worth to you, and then work to increase your conversion rate. So if you step back and look at your economic model, and let me just drive this home. Conversion rates are the key variables in your income equation. Like I said, you can set a dozen appointments in a day. If you're not converting any of them, then that's not going to work for you. And you need to understand that you're not. So it's more than just doing it or not doing it. It's understanding that you are or that you are not doing it, and then working to improve that. So if you get any takeaway from this, understand the importance of knowing your own conversion rate, and if it's low, working to improve it. Basically low, anything below 70%, you need to work on it. So if you're only converting 7 out of 10 people, you need to work on it, because this is real estate, mortgage, and insurance. I mean, if it was Visalis or some energy drink, I would say, 40% conversion rate's pretty good, 50's excellent. This isn't that. This is real estate, mortgage, and insurance. So, and team building. So if you're conversion and team building with a fantastic model that we have, I mean, come on. If you can't do 70% on a conversion rate at a minimum, then that's okay, but work on your skills a bit. So conversion rates are the key variables in your income equation. Please understand that. If you step back and look at your economic model, something should stand out big and bold to you. Converting leads to appointments and converting appointments to new business are huge drivers of your economic success. They are both accomplished by a skilled presentation with a firm grasp of scripts and dialogues. If you can't make a convincing presentation, deliver purposeful scripts, or engage in effective dialogues, you won't be very successful, no matter how many leads or appointments you have. Please understand that. I know I'm being redundant, but this stuff is that important. So I'm taking small bites and giving you smaller bits of information. I'm being redundant about doing so, but that's because there's extreme value in understanding what I'm saying. So let me read that excerpt one more time. I'll drill it down a bit. Appointments are huge drivers of your economic success. They are both accomplished by a skilled presentation and a firm grasp of scripts and dialogues. Be that expert. As I said, be the expert. Whatever you're doing, whether it's team building, real estate, mortgage, or insurance, be the expert. Your clients expect you to be. Prospects expect you to be. If they feel that they're sitting across from anyone less than an expert, that's when your conversion rate begins to drop. Please understand that correlation. If you cannot make a convincing presentation, deliver purposeful scripts, or engage in effective dialogues on your given field or your given reason for being in that living room, you won't be very successful in that living room, no matter how many leads you may have. So now your economic model has given you another gift. It has highlighted the key skills you must learn to be a successful business person in delivering your message and content. So basically, again, it's all about the skill set to convert leads to appointments, to have a high conversion rate for those appointments or in those appointments, to have them lead to new business. So the skills to convert those appointments to new business. And then make no mistake, mastering your presentations, your scripts, and dialogues is what will drive your conversion ratios. That's the last thing I'll say, and I'll repeat it one more time because it's worth repeating. Make no mistake, mastering your presentations, scripts, and dialogues is what will drive your conversion ratios. So until next time, set some appointments, hold yourself accountable, and work on your conversion rate. If anyone from business to business, salesperson to salesperson, if anyone ever asks you what your conversion rate is, you should know it. And if you don't, work on that. So that's it. That's all I've got for you for this one. So I'll see you again next time.